Go. I can't stream right now from my room downstairs because I am in the middle of, see if this light makes a difference. I have another light here. I'm in the middle of, it's probably not going to last very long, but I'm in the middle of spray painting the stuff that was on my desk that was black. So my boom arm for my my mic, my laptop stand. Hey, have Naoko here today. But yeah, I'm streaming from upstairs because my room downstairs is kind of like out of order at the moment. So I know like with my phone, the quality is not the greatest, but she has such an amazing face up that her face up like really stands out. And I actually really like her in this outfit. How are you guys doing tonight, by the way? I really like her in this outfit. She is wearing a Lika Chan, hashtag Lika, which is like the teenager line. And it came with all of these pieces and like this cute little like face mask. But it was actually really good quality. Like I find with the Lika Chan clothing, like it's really a hit or miss. Some of the pieces are like decent quality. And like the fabrics are really nice. And then sometimes the fabrics are kind of like not the greatest. And some of the fabrics are comparable to like some Barbie playline fabrics. But yeah, the fit is really cute on her, right? My room is also disorganized because I've been packing up commissions and other customs. You know, the doll stuff just gets crazy. I love this girl so much. I had a top 10 pull-up doll list, and I don't know if she was in it or not, but she's definitely in my top 5. Considering to re-add her, did you have her and then sell her? Is that what happened? Oh my gosh. Yeah, she's like in my top 5 for sure. And I lucked out because her wig is in really good condition. So she didn't come with any of her stock, but I had her in this cute little outfit. Oh, and then this Lika Chan outfit also came with this plushie, which was really, really cute. And these little bunny slippers, which kind of like fell off her foot. So let's see how she looks without the robe. But yeah, how are you guys all doing today? She used to be in your wanted list. Oh, but you took her off the list. Yo, did you guys see that doorbuster for Callie? That's $100. Now, I know I said I wasn't going to let go of Core, but I'm totally letting go of Core now. She looks so cute in this Lika Chan Sumiko Guragashi outfit, but I am selling Core. I also wanted to mention I am selling my Rainbow High repaint. I can't remember the name of this girl. Let me go get her, and then you guys can help me out and help me figure out the name of her. She's gonna come with just like this little undergarment like this girl has. I'm gonna list her in a couple like Facebook groups and like list her like officially in my Etsy shop. But yeah, I am parting ways with this girl. I did her face up. I didn't want to part ways with her because she's like my only like black girly, but I really want a black smart doll, African smart doll. People are sensitive about different things. Like I don't get sensitive when people think that I'm Chinese or Asian. I don't get sensitive when people think that I'm indigenous. That none of that bothers me. But of course, like some people are like, don't say color, don't say black, but then there's Black Lives Matter. So anyways, she's my only African doll, if I could just be more correct with that. I mean, there are a lot of really like dark Filipinos, like as dark as this, and East Indian people as well, Pakistani people who are as dark as this. So really, she is the only person of this skin, only doll of this skin tone. Robin Sterling, thank you. But I am trying to like refine my collection, and so yeah, she's gonna come just kind of in the thing is with her is like I accidentally scratched her neck and her head doesn't move. So her head is like glued on because I had used clay, and I'm going to denote that in the pictures. I had used clay to like mount her head back on her body because I made a mistake. Dylan, hey, how's it going? But yeah, I'm going to put her just in a stock outfit like this, and then like put her in my Etsy shop because I'm trying to refine my collection, and I know that I don't need to have more than one smart doll, so at some point, I don't know when, I am going to let go of probably Dimension because I'm not as attached to her as I am to Mirai. And I don't know if you know. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. She keeps like slipping out of her stand. How's it going, Dylan? Yeah, so this is Dimension. She's in her stand. Honestly, I love her and I feel bad. But the rule is I'm only going to have 2 smart dolls. So I was thinking of letting go of Dimension in exchange for having like a skin tone smart doll that is more dark. And I love Dimension so much. But if I had to choose between her and Mirai, I kind of would rather keep Mirai. So I don't know. She's so cute too. But I feel like I don't bond with her as much as I bond with Mirai. And it's probably because I've taken Mirai out a bit more. So maybe I've just bonded with her more. I don't know. I'm trying not to make too rash of decisions. But so far with all the decisions I've made with selling dolls, I haven't regretted any of them. So, like, I'm not too concerned. But I am letting go of Mong Lee's. My friend is buying Mong Lee's. I just kind of decided that I really loved her outfit. I loved everything about her, except for her eyebrows. And also, my friend has been wanting a pull-up doll for a really long time, and I just felt like my friend would enjoy this style of pull-up doll because they can be really goth sometimes in their style. So I put her in like the Hello Kitty Ropitas Kawaii outfit. And I'm like just gifting that outfit to my friend and some pull-up doll clothes as just kind of like a little starter pack. Got myself some stuff for the end of the month an hour ago. What stuff? What did you get? Right now, and I'm eating churro ice cream. Oh my god, that sounds so good. I need me some churro ice cream. Whoa, that sounds delicious. Actually, I'm like in the mood for these cinnamon buns that are in my fridge. I wasn't in the mood prior, and yeah, it was because I had quite a bit to drink last Saturday, and I'm definitely I'm done. And if I'm not done, it's like a once a year thing. I don't know why. I haven't had a problem with drinking in like years, 3-4 years. But for whatever reason, one time last year and one time this year, I just drank enough to make myself sick, and I'm still feeling sick. It's like almost been a week and my stomach has just not been good all week. But anyway, I took off her robe. And now we have her just in like the little, it's really cute. Like the pants are kind of billowing, but they do like lay really well if I don't. So if I was like going to position her like in a little chair, like a little bed or something. But the pants do kind of have a bit of a billow at the top. Oh no, see, if I pull them down, they're good. If I pull them down, they're good. It is just so hard, honestly. I want to get more into doll photography, and I've been saying that over and over again, but the problem is when you have so many dolls, you have to decide who you're going to photograph, and it's a hard decision. Then you change their outfit, and I mean, not that you can't get into doll photography with having a lot of dolls. I just feel like maybe there's more motivation when you have less dolls, because let's say you have like a collection of 10 dolls and you're someone who has customized all 10 of your dolls, or they're all customs. Then at some point, it's like, you're going to get bored of how they are. So you're going to change their eye chips, their wigs, their outfit. But then when you have a lot of stock dolls, then you have a lot of dolls on display. And then you're kind of like, And it's true, the moment you take a doll out of its stock outfit and you change, you know, everything about it, that it's kind of like different and that has like a different vibe. Got some manga, My Love Mix Up. Ooh, I have been looking at that. The final volume came out like a month ago. So I decided to pick up the whole series. I love that. I love picking up whole manga series. I miss that actually. Um, I gotta get through all my manga volumes though. You read manga like really fast though. I saw a listing on eBay for Mars manga. Mars manga. I had to like clarify because there is Mars Pullip doll in new condition, so I had to pick that up too. Sorry for the rant. No, no worries. No ranting. There's no such thing as ranting here. And just so you know, anybody who ever pops into my lives, or let's just say you're like watching from the outside, but you haven't actually clicked on the live, so you're not actually in here, but you're watching from the outside. Yeah, this is a safe space. Anyone is free to say anything. And somebody just left a comment on my like, is doll collecting a disease video, and they like really didn't agree with me, and they really thought that I had like bad intentions or that I was putting out bad energy or negative energy. And just like another disclaimer is I think that doll collecting is great. And if you want to collect all the dolls and you want to spend all the money on all the dolls and have 100 dolls, all the power to you. I just felt like I had no idea that doll collecting even existed. A. Then when I found out about it, I thought it was the greatest thing on the face of this earth. B. And then C, I realized that there is a lot of commonalities within doll collectors on experiencing FOMO, on having spending problems. And I'm sure it's like this in every single industry, but it just so happened that I discovered this in the doll niche. And is doll collecting a disease was a question mark. It was not a statement. And that question was mainly directed to me, to myself. Is it a disease for me? Because it was starting to take over my life and I was starting to get overwhelmed. I was starting to feel hurt if I couldn't afford certain dolls. Like I want to physically cry. And I never ever meant to say that this hobby is like negative. I love this hobby so much. I love this hobby so much. I don't have Nako's stock outfit. So that's why I put her in this outfit. And I'm actually going to put her in a 12 tonight. The goal is to get her in a 12 rosettes outfit. So we are going to get her in a 12 rosettes outfit. So yeah, it's been an interesting week. There's been a lot of like different thoughts. I did a little vlog on TikTok. I didn't post it yet. I had a really bad, not bad day, but I've had really bad anxiety today. I don't know if anybody suffers from anxiety. It's like on and off for me. Sometimes I get no anxiety and I have these like honeymoon phases in my life where I don't feel stressed, I don't feel anxious, I don't feel worried. Everything's flowing and moving and good. And then there are these times in my life, these periods in my life, could be a couple months at a time, where I just feel like depressed and I suffer from depression. So that's like a little bit of a heavier note, kind of a real, on the real. I'm so sorry. Anxiety sucks. It does. And that's on the real, you know, but for the most part, it's like I'm very healthy, and I'm very, very fortunate that I feel like healthy a majority of the time. It's just every so often I get anxiety, and it like inhibits me from having an appetite, and then the lack of eating makes me weak and more stressed. So yeah, there's been like a lot of talk this week with my friends about just like relationships and our relationships with people, and just some really good conversations this week. And what I love about doll collecting is like your relationship with a doll is kind of like just one single doll. So not even doll collecting. I want to say, because doll collecting and my relationship to doll collecting is like, it's not toxic, but I wouldn't say that it's all that healthy. So, but my relationship, when you are in the doll hobby, you're playing with one single doll, and in that moment, that is a really healthy experience, I think. Pullip Isla. Her eye chips are so gorgeous. I haven't. Oh my goodness. Or maybe I have, but I just don't remember who she is. Hopefully taking care of yourself. Thank you for that. You know, I think anyone who is having like a stressful day emotionally, um, or having anxiety or just having like family issues, relationship issues, at the very base, and I talked about this on my TikTok, at the very, very basic level, we need sleep. And if you can't sleep, you need to eat. And if you don't feel like eating and you don't have an appetite, you're that stressed out, just making yourself bite into something and just chewing it. And if you're having a really hard time eating it, then maybe, yeah, you might want to go and see someone about that. But there could be a chance that you eat the thing and you finish the thing and it helps your anxiety, right? So there's been times in my life where just eating is like, ugh, anything, it just makes me feel sick and I'm just so stressed that it's so sickening. And then there are times I'm really stressed and then I bite into something and it just tastes so good and it helps, you know, create those endorphins and serotonins. Hey, Mercedes. Elia is the new girl, right? Oh, she's like the new girl with the blue dress. Yeah, I totally feel the anxiety part. I quit Nick and alcohol, so I've been stressing this together at the same time. Yeah, I smoked from I smoked really early from 15, kind of the tail end of being 15, all the way up until I was Mm, all the way up until I got pregnant, actually. I just kind of smoked less in those latter parts, like when I was like 18, 19. And then I started up again during my postpartum psychosis for like a good 6 months. And then I was like vaping after that. And then I like fully quit nicotine, like 26. I'm 33 now. But that was like really heavy on the marijuana after that. And that I quit, like the chronic smoking of marijuana, like I would say, like I quit that like 4 years ago, 3 years ago. Yeah, the new girl, the blue dress Christmas. She looks so Christmassy, actually. And I wish you so much positive energy. I'm sending you so much energy for quitting nicotine and drinking. It's like, you know, with my history, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, you just have to just try to be better every single day. And you might relapse, you might not, you might go 6 months, you might go a year, you might have a drink and then be like, you know, you might have just a little bit of it and it doesn't even change where you're at. It doesn't make you feel good, it doesn't make you feel bad. You just kind of had a little bit of it and then it's like whatever. But I went to this metal show the other night and, you know, it was like really awesome. This really famous person, you know, who has like this huge following, who's this amazing artist, really like hyper mask person, is just like, all you can do is just try to be a better person every single day. And I really do believe in that, like for yourself, not for anybody else, but just for yourself. And, you know, not everyone's gonna have good days and bad days. And there are gonna be days where like, I don't feel like I am better today than I was yesterday. I feel worse. And then there are some days where you just feel worse and worse and worse. But all you can do is even just try to be a little bit better. And it maybe is not even a day thing. What I talked about earlier today in my TikTok was that it's like, I feel like I like to work in like just half an hour increments or the present moment. So if I need to lay down for 10 minutes or 20 minutes, then I let myself do that. And I just look at, you know, the next half an hour and it's like, okay, I don't feel good right now, but maybe in half an hour I'll feel better. So it's like I just know that like every half an hour, really every minute can change, but I try to kind of look at things in like half an hour. It's like, okay, in an hour from now, you know, or doing the dishes is going to take me 20 minutes. And maybe after I do this, I'll feel a little bit better because my kitchen's going to be a little bit cleaner. I think Elia face is a bit meh. She reminds me of another pull-up doll, but I don't remember who. She looks like the pull-up doll that kind of comes in like a, I think she comes in like a little bit of like a blue looking yukata. Only because I accidentally, when I did a face commission pull up and the outcome of the face up has a really similar color story. So you're kind of like over it. The whole theme is amazing. Honestly, she reminds me of like, you know, she's very like Lolita and like La Robe Vert, you know, the La Robe, the Midori doll. I actually really love her garment. I think her garment and the colors of her face up I do like. I don't know what I think of her wig. I am very curious about mostly the garment. But I need to look at more stock photos of her, like legitimately on my computer to really know what I think, because I've only looked at her so far on Instagram, and I've only seen like the really small picture of her on Instagram and Facebook. You don't really like Elia's eyelid color, to be honest, but everything else is perfect in your opinion. I usually keep my doll eyes open. I don't know what they were thinking. What color is it? Now I'm curious because I don't even know. I don't even know the color of her eyelids, so I'm not even sure. And if you feel so inclined to hit the thumbs up button, it's there, but no pressure. Okay, so we got the dress on so far. Cute. I love this wig on her. I think it's really pretty. But I have looked at a bunch of Naokos in different wigs, and somebody put the Mamori wig on her, and it looks so cute, and I'm kind of curious about that. Kind of curious myself about how she would look in that. So I think I'll take her little hands off. Oh no, we're okay. It's not like I was over it, but the blue I used with the eyelids and the back plate was the exact same blue in the dress. Like, she could have been sisters. It's funny how you just kind of like get over something. Like, I don't know. I really thought that I was like so into the Punky Pullip dolls and they're my favorite. But now I like don't feel like playing with my Punky Pullip dolls. So you just it just kind of shifts and changes, and that's why it's kind of nice to kind of have a diverse amount of doll clothes. But it's just tough like prioritizing, because I filled this cart with some ball jointed doll and vinyl doll clothing, 1/3 scale and 1/4 scale. And I want to buy these clothes, and so I was like, okay, I'm going to sell some dolls. I'm going to be resourceful. And now there's this doorbuster on Groove USA. I don't know how long it's going to last, for Cassie, right? Or Callie, one of the two. And now I'm like being pulled over there. But like, do I legit need another pull-up doll? But I just love her face up so much. Grapefruit red. Okay. Actually, that is really interesting. I made these eyelids on the last commission I did. The second commission I ever did. I don't know if you guys saw it on Instagram. Oh, I guess I just posted a short about it, I think today or yesterday. So I just posted a short about it here on my page. And I made her eyelids kind of like a peachy, apricot-y grapefruit color. And I just, after I was like, I don't like this color at all for eyelids. So that's kind of interesting. I wonder if it's a similar grapefruit red. But it looked like in her eyes, she had like some undertone of orange here. I don't know if that was just me from far away. I have to look at her again. But, okay. All right. I don't know. I feel like I want to get her out of this wig though. Or I want her eyebrows showing. I think her eyebrows are... I feel like I need like a little collection of wigs that feature eyebrows. Thank you for that. Yeah, I was like a little bit nervous, but it turned out okay, I think. I know for sure I don't want to pursue doing face ups like too hardcore. I'm not gonna like work on a butt. I have actually a lot of like doll heads in queue. I have 2 LOL dolls. I have 3 Rainbow High dolls that I like took their heads off the bodies. I pinned their hair back. They're waiting at my art station. And I'm just taking my time with them because I feel a little bit like sensitive to the Mr. Super Clear. Even though I wear full mask and everything, like goggles and everything, I just feel so uncomfortable. Like I couldn't even spray paint today the stuff for the Kawaii desk setup. I got Greg to spray paint everything for me because I was just like feeling really nervous about the chemicals. They're so unique, right? I wish they came out with prototype photos faster. I just want to see the dolls releasing next year. Yeah, I'm just like I'm really curious about just kind of like what's happening with their company. They've been like not releasing a lot of dolls, right? And now they have like those smaller pull-up dolls. And I wonder if it's just cheaper to put those into production, and that the markup on those are better. I don't know much about those little pull-ups. Like, how's their joint articulation? I'm sure Violetta, you know, because like those are not a new thing, right? Those are like an old thing that they rebooted, though, right? I'll look at it. I'll look at them side by side. I can't like toggle off my phone, but I'll look when I get off. Yeah, her eyebrows. There are so many dolls that have really unique eyebrows. But definitely Rojun, I think that's how you say her name. I think that she's a great doll. I know Dylan, you said that you were thinking of getting her. And if I had all the monies in the world, oh my goodness, I would love to have, I would actually love to get like every single release. I don't know if Scarlet Bee officially gets every single release. It seems like she does. And I would love to have that. But I already know that unless I was like just balling out of control with like a really big house and I could like successfully put every single doll on display, like really not touching, if they were touching just very little. And I liked the way that they were displayed. There was like, you know what I'm thinking of? Beauty and the Beast. And you know how in Beauty and the Beast, in his mansion, he has that room with all those books? And it's like that room with just all those books, and it's just like this library. So if I had a big enough house so that I could have like a library of dolls, well, yeah, I mean, I'm sure all of us would want that. But I get overwhelmed as it is trying to figure out where are these girlies going to go and how are they going to be featured. Okay. So I feel like she's just like, oh my gosh. There's something about this makeup. She's giving me like Russian supermodel. I really like her in this outfit, especially with the cape. The cape is like a must for sure. I believe it was a new thing because it was a collab with someone on Instagram, The Worry. But I have seen those little pull-ups. Are those other little pull-ups smaller than The Worry? I don't know what I think of those little pull-ups. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. Them. I don't know if they seem short to me. That's the dream, right? Or is that just like a nice fantasy? Because there's so many different kinds of dreams out there. And I was on Instagram earlier today. What do you guys think of her in 12 Rosette's outfit? I was on Instagram earlier today and I was looking at iconic places of nature in Japan. And I'm like, or is that the dream? Just like walking into this mountain valley in Japan that is just all blue flowers. I know you guys know that if you've been watching my stuff, I am just feeling so gutturally, like in my stomach, like so fixated on going back to Japan, like fixated. Mostly, it's not even about going to the Lika Chan Castle. It's just about like just being there, really. I mean, there's a million different things that you could do out there that's so fun and cool, and there's all this otaku stuff, but there's just like a vibrational quality to that country that I'm just so curious about. I felt the same way with like Bali, and I went to Bali twice. After the second time though, I was kind of like, okay, I went twice and now I think I've felt the vibrational tone of Bali, and I'm like I also was like heavily triggered the second time that I went, because the second time that I went I was like really sober, and of course it's a developing country, and it's like the Philippines where they're like just burning garbage everywhere, and it's like throwing all this garbage into the ocean, and it was like yeah, it was like really triggering to like deep inside of here to just be near. Hi. Her eyes actually really match the outfit, I think. Like she looks like a Russian supermodel to me with this outfit, or maybe she's Latvian. She's from a Baltic country and she's just so exotic and gorgeous. And yeah, I was looking at her on the shelf and I was just like, I feel like she needs to be in that outfit. It just came to mind. So I'm definitely gonna get some pictures of her. Maybe I'll get some pictures of her with, they look kind of like cute side by side actually. Just like, they kind of have like a thematic thing going on with these capes and like the fur. Little Pullip is different than the Worry. Worry is like mid-size. See, I thought so. Little Pullip is way tinier. Actually, I saw the cutest vlog. I'm gonna get a stand for this girl. I saw the cutest vlog. I don't even know where it was, and it was like when I first started getting into pull-ups. I probably already even talked about this. Oh, it fell. Oh, I think her shoe. Maybe. Oh, yeah. But where did it go? I heard it. Oh, here it is. So I have Verita's Crimson's outfit, and I was thinking also of putting it on somebody, but I don't know who. I was thinking maybe... Who was I thinking of putting on? I can't remember now. Merle. I was kind of thinking of putting it on Merle. But yeah, somebody had taken a Taiyang, a Pullip, and one of those little Pullips, but they rebodied the little Pullip on like a really small like Obitsu body, and then they did this whole story of like that little Pullip being like Taiyang's son and showing his son like around the garage and like some mechanic stuff. It was really cute. I wonder if I can find it again. I might like her in that outfit a little more than Etoile Rosette. Ah! Did you guys see that I put Etoile Rosette in the Kiyomi outfit? Yeah. I don't know. Etoile Rosette in this outfit, I was like, I don't know if I'm bonding with her in this outfit, but I'm definitely bonding with Naoko. It's hard to situate here, like sitting down. I'm definitely bonding with Naoko in this outfit. But Etoile Endomiel on Endomiel. Endomiel. That's how you say it. Endomiel. Endomiel. It's like written like it's French, but is it French? I don't know. Could not be. I feel like Endomiel really belongs in her outfit. I got her literally to put her in the Kiyomi mint ice cream, or no, wait. The Kiyomi, yeah, mint ice cream version outfit. I'm having a shoe. Fudge. Sometimes these pull-up doll shoes and this stand, man. I think I just have to go through all of my pull-up doll stands and just super glue all of them in place because they're so annoying. Hi, let's be an idiot. That's a really funny username. I might like her in the, yeah, they both are really pretty. So I've got her over here now. I've got to like I've got to like position her. There was a bit of snow on the ground the other day, but it actually has melted away now. But this is what I don't like about these pull-up doll stands, man. Like this one is already shaky wakey. And no, what is that? It like came off of, I feel like it's just, this pull-up doll stand is no bueno. Ugh. I need to glue it. I hate it when it's like that. She's like leaning. She shouldn't be. She should be like that. But it's because of the stand. I find that little piece always just kind of breaks. You're like adjusting the pull-up doll. Like I need to make a short on that because I feel like other pull-up doll collectors feel me on this and they relate to that. And that little part of the stand is never up correctly. So that's cute. I'm just gonna like package up this outfit now. But I don't know where the slipper went. Oh, there we go. Okay, we are putting this over here. Oof. Some doll shoes are just harder to put on than others. Yes, I agree with that. So I'm gonna like flip the camera and sorry, it's kind of cringy over in that corner. That's usually covered. But yeah, on a side note, I really feel like painting this wall at some point. There's a problem that's occurring with this whole fairy light situation, and I had it mount. I had these fairy lights, oh, a doll hair, oh my goodness, like mounted to the wall with the double-sided tape, but the double-sided like sticky tape is getting dusty and it keeps coming off. And there's just something about the way that these fairy lights are set up. It was a nice idea at first, but now it's like cringy to me and I don't like it. And I want something more streamlined and like cleaner. And I don't want this like double-sided, like sticky, like gummy tape to be showing. So I did part ways with Hatsune Miku because I have Sakura. And I brought somebody downstairs, I don't remember who. But as you can see, there's like a couple blank spots. I mean, obviously Nako's down over here, and I'm going to bring her back to where she's supposed to go. She was positioned with this crew, with these 4 dolls here, which honest, maybe I'll just put her back there right now because I kind of want to see how she looks with them in this outfit. But her cape is like just like out of control. So yeah, my bi-weekly dusting is like due. So I'm going to do that tomorrow morning. It'll be like the first thing I do. I had to charge my duster. This cape is like, it takes up so much room. Oof. I'll just put her up here for now, and then like we'll just do a little clip of her so you can like see her. That's the thing with the stand too, is like if the shoes are not positioned correctly, the heel like bends and it's no bueno. Okay, this outfit really matches this little wall over here. I personally like the look of the pull-up stands, but they are so weak. The metal ones with the older ones seem a lot more sturdy. My dolls are always falling. Like, yeah, they totally do face plant. But she looks pretty cute over here with this crew, I would say. Yeah, so like usually what I do is I just take like a wet cloth and I just work one shelf at a time. And I take the dolls, I take the 4 dolls off, I put them over here. I take a wet cloth and then a dry cloth, and then I take my little duster, I turn on the air purifier, and I take my little duster and then I just dust all their hair and their outfits near the purifier, and then I walk them back over to the shelf. The cape is convertible, actually, but I never really looked at it on the other side. But I'm pretty sure, and I want to take her down, actually, because it is, like, just ever so slightly dusty up here. Just a little bit dusty. And, yeah, I don't want to... It just gets dustier up there than it does on this table over here, I noticed. I think dust just likes to settle on things that are like, yeah, closer. But yeah, let's look at the cape. And on a side note, I don't know if anybody's reading or has read. I know Dylan has, Takane and Hana. But oh my gosh, I got so good at volume 13. And I should just, my kid was like, just read it, just finish it. Because I have so many other series that I'm still finishing. Like, I think I finished Happy Marriage. No, I didn't even finish Happy Marriage. Something's Wrong with Us. I haven't finished yet. Sweat and Soap. I still have volume 3 and 4 to read. But yeah, this is reversible. So the way that it's been sewn, there's no tag here on the other side. So I can definitely. Aw. Aw. Okay, now she's giving me like Burning Man vibes. Oh, see, it's either face plant or like back of head dive. And her knee joint bent a little bit there. Yeah, I gotta glue this pull-up doll stand. It's making me mad, and now I'm feeling a little bit of anxiety with the dustiness in here. But it's Friday night, and I don't know if I want to be dusting at this particular moment. I'm really craving playing Modern Warfare and just going and playing Modern Warfare. I don't know if you guys play Modern Warfare, but I'm like really into that right now, on a side note. You need to pick that back up. I read up to volume 4 years ago and never picked it back up. Yeah, I'm like, I just have like such an obsessed, like I have an obsession and attachment to it, and oh no, I hit the wrong thing. Just because of like, I don't know. No, I do know. I shouldn't say I don't know, but it's like a whole other topic, and I will like I think I'll make a formal video about it. I need like a good title that is like resonant, kind of like, I don't want to like say like healing through manga, because that sounds kind of like cheese, but just more so like maybe like restructuring trauma through manga. I don't know. Takane and Hana is very dear and near to me because it is like a story that I am like replacing an old me with Hana. And yeah, they have a huge age gap, right? Like they are like 10 years apart. Like he's 26 and she's 16. So people are like, oh no, that's so cringe. He's grooming her. Da 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 da. And you know what? IRL, that does happen. Low key, like it happened to me. Like I had a boyfriend that was 28 when I was 17. And it wasn't that he groomed me. It was just that he didn't consider the age gap. And the author talks about how the manga isn't meant to be, it's meant to be a comedy, not even really a romance. And it's not that romantic, actually. It is very comedic, huge laughs. But you said it's really meant to show age difference. And there is, you know, some manga out there that doesn't really show too big of age difference. And there's a big age difference, and then there's like this whole Lolita thing, right? But it's not like that at all. Takane doesn't have a Lolita complex at all. It's a completely, like, you just have to read it to know it. You have to read it to know it. She's beyond her years. He didn't have a mom, and he kind of like just didn't get a chance to like experience kind of like friendship in his younger years. So they have an amazing bond as friends, which obviously when you are friends with the opposite you know, not always the opposite, but sometimes friendship turns into more, whether it's like same gender or opposite gender. You're on your reread of Basara and PSME. But after I might need to pick up to, it's a very simple story. Like I'm on volume, whew, I don't know, I'm in Angel Sanctuary, and yeah, I have to read that one so slowly. I have to read Vampire Nights so slowly because there's just different styles of stories. They're more complex. And I feel like those mangas are for when you kind of want to be in kind of like an emo gothy state. uh and because of my mental state, it's like sometimes it's okay for me to read Vampire Night or Angel Sanctuary, but sometimes I'm like, I read like a chapter or two and I'm just like, oh, I gotta read Takana and Hana or like Yakuza Lover or just something like more silly. So I've been looking into it, but I'm like, I wonder if they're ever gonna come out with another Star-Crossed. I wasn't sure about that. But I'm looking at my shelf right now, and Star-Crossed was really funny too. I like really funny shoujo manga that has like a little bit of romance, but like mostly comedy. Um, Takane and Hana, I'm gonna grab one of the volumes. I actually really want some Dolphy Dreams or ball jointed dolls, some vinyl dolls, probably based on these two characters. Like, I think if I just had these two, I would be happy. Like, I would be happy to trade all my ball jointed dolls and vinyl dolls all together to raise enough money to get two customs of these two characters. And okay, yes, she is 16 and she is in high school, and people are very quick to come out with their claws at this, and a lot of people came out with their claws with Hitorojime, My Hero. But again, you have to just read it, and then, you know, it's not, there are other animes and manga out there that are just, I won't even say the titles, that are like, no. But this is so far from being inappropriate, in my opinion. After reading the numerous manga I've bought but still haven't read OFC. What's OFC? I have two sides of my manga, really fluffy, happy manga, and then more serious, depressing, sad manga. There's no in between. I wonder if I have anything that's like an in between. There isn't really much in between, actually. I think for shoujo, it's like one or the other. I don't know if there is any in between. Skippy is a total comedy. It's actually not that serious. I guess it's more comedy. It's not emo. It's not emo. Chobits is kind of in between, because I feel like there are moments in Chobits that are really emo, but it's subtle. It's not an obvious emo. It's like mostly a comedy, but there's always gonna be something a little bit depressing and emo about like AI sci-fi love interest. Yeah. What is OFC? You haven't read OFC. I'm trying to think of what is OFC. 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 What is OFC? But yeah, Takane and Hana, and I have so many manga titles that I haven't even like read. So I have If I Could Reach You Volume 1 that I'm really curious about, and Absolute Boyfriend. I have Volume 1 and 2. But I think I'm going to sell Orisama Teacher. Oh, of course. Oh, of course. Oh, and then it says of course. And then I thought that was a manga title. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I've bought but still haven't read. Yeah. And see, that's the thing, right? It could be like manga. It could be like, and that's why I get that last person who commented on my video was like, you should have titled the video is like compulsive collecting a disease. Um, but I wasn't really talking about compulsive collecting in general. But if we were going to talk about compulsive collecting, it can be anything. It could be Sailor Moon merch. It could be um, anime figures, video games, manga. Right? There's a lot of different things that otaku collect, weebs collect, and that was really kind of like maybe, yeah, more of like a ninja premise that came in after in the video, and the title and the cover was kind of like like a fishing rod, right? Clickbaity, like a, what is that called? Like a bait and switch, a little bit. And I guess people get kind of like, somebody was actually really triggered and they were really mad, and I read everything, and some other people came out to defend me, and they were really disappointed. And you know uh people change. Like a year ago, I was like all about spending lots and lots and lots of money on stuff and pull-up dolls and my 22 pull-up doll haul video, and like that's what I was channeling, and I had the money to spend. I was still dancing at the club. I was liquidating my crystals. So I had like multiple streams of two, like pretty strong streams of income coming in, because I had all this inventory that I had like bought over the course of 4 years. And my business had been strong enough at a good markup value. And because my markup value was high, and I'm in the realm of crystals, I was donating 1% of sales just to various charities to just kind of try and balance some of that soul of money. I read this book and it's called The Soul of Money. And it's kind of like our relationship to money, because money has its own soul. And so if we like are into the drama of not wanting to pay our bills and we're late on paying our bills, or we always have our credit cards maxed out, or we don't want to pay our taxes, like we're kind of tainting the soul of money. This is just a perspective, okay? It's not like my perspective. This is just what I was reading in the book. And so I felt like my relationship to money had changed once obviously I didn't have as much of it to spend. And then looking at all of my collections, I loved them and I revered them, but they obviously were things I had spent my money on. So like looking at them too was just kind of like, wow, I spent all that money so quickly. And I was just thinking, I don't regret any of it at all. It's just like mm, didn't really consider that maybe I could have approached my otaku habits just differently. And I became mesmerized. I became mesmerized with these big manga collections I saw on Instagram, these big doll collections I saw on YouTube. And, I bought into it and I don't regret any of it. I love all of my toys and manga and dolls. Uh, but I don't even have enough time to play with all of them. I don't even have enough time to read all of them. I have enough manga and enough dolls, probably for the next couple years at least, for hobbying in. I don't really need to bring anything in. If anything, I need to, again, move things out to bring things in. So I need to like, I want to balance that out. And that's just me. So I shifted. So it was like a year ago. I was on like one vibrational wavelength of more like bringing in, spending, collecting, enamored with the options, having lots of options. And now I'm like, I got a lot of options. And so now I'm just shifting gears and trying to get back to it being like a healthy thing and not like a dis-ease type of thing where I feel like not at ease. The opposite of not feeling at ease. Absolute Boyfriend is so problematic. My least favorite Watashi series, it's chaotic. I have Chobits, and so I was like, I'm curious about this Absolute Boyfriend. And I saw it for like a really fair price on this, like, I think it was like thrift books. So I bought volume one, and then I was like, and then I saw volume two on like eBay or somewhere for a really fair price. I bought volume two, and I was like, okay, I have volume one, I have volume two. I'm gonna read those. I won't go beyond that, but at least I have two, and I'll just like read them back to back. Series has always been my favorite of her series. Oh yes, I have seen that at the back of some mangas. That's funny. I'm like, how do I not know OFC? I don't know. Am I too old to know OFC? My goal for next year is to definitely spend less money before this year. I would maybe buy 50, 60 volumes per year. Woo! But this year I bought 110, done, ready. Woo! Well, there's something to be said also about retail therapy. And if you can afford it and it does make you feel good, that's what somebody was saying up in my comments, right? They were like, why are you bashing doll collecting? If people want to buy dolls and collect dolls and it makes them feel good, you're in no place to bash them. And they are right. I was not trying to bash anybody at all. And there is such a thing as buying something. It's like, that's a love language, is gifts. And maybe buying yourself gifts is a love language that you give to yourself. And it's retail therapy is therapy. So, you know, um, today I was having a really anxious day. I'm not spending any money. I was out with my sister, and then we decided to go to a Momo, which is like the Daiso. And I was just thinking, like, if I was spending money, like I wasn't on this like spending diet that I've been vlogging about, then buying like a little Hello Kitty thing today would make me feel good. But just looking at everything made me feel just as good. So window shopping and doom scrolling also makes me feel somewhat the same as buying the actual thing. And that's how I felt about anime figures. I really wanted to buy anime figures, but I just couldn't see the like practicality in them in comparison to anime dolls, pull-up dolls, vinyl dolls, Dolphy Dream, etc. But there's mad anime figure collectors on social media, and it's like I can consume the hobby through their content. You are getting that grail. That's your ultimate goal right now. I know that. Have way more than enough for my grail, nor am I willing to spend my entire saving on the poison. But I feel guilty buying stuff even though I can for the next year. See, and that's the thing too, is like there is like a little bit of like, if you're in a state of like feeling guilty when you buy something, then obviously there is like your relationship to the soul of money is changed at that point. So sometimes we go through these waves where we don't feel guilty about spending money at all. You could be out with a friend and you guys are shopping together and you just don't feel guilty about spending that money because you're out with a friend and they're going to buy something, you're going to buy something or whatever. Buy a shirt or a skirt because you want to wear it to a particular event. I know the economy is like a little bit different right now too, so everyone's like really mindful about their spending in a degree. But also it's kind of like just the balance, right? If you didn't make it till tomorrow and you really wanted to buy something, but you deprived yourself of buying that thing, even though you knew you could afford it, you had no other goals to buy anything else, but you just felt like you didn't need it, but you just wanted it. And so you were guilty and you didn't want to buy it. It's like, just buy it, just buy the thing. So it just depends. If you have goals, like I have a goal, I want to go to Japan, I want to bring my son, then it's like I have to consider that I may not reach that goal if I just am buying more dolls and manga and all that, obviously considering my income and obviously also considering how hard I want to work. So, of course, somebody said I had an Instagram reel that blew up. It got 50,000 views, in a week. So there's quite a few comments in it. And then there's like 70 comments now. So I'm looking through all these comments. And one of the comments was like, I don't understand how people have these huge, luxurious doll collections. Like, how do they afford it? Like, how do you even have enough money, like enough expendable income to buy a doll that's $1,200. And it's like, well, the reality is some people have the money, some people are putting it on credit and just working really hard to afford it, or some people are just hustling to afford it, right? And it was like, you know, the 22 pull-up doll haul, like, poof, night and day, I was on that Instagram, my crystal Instagram, pushing these crystals, liquidating these crystals, packing these orders, sending out coupons to all my customers on Etsy all day long, sending them a coupon, sending out coupons, posting, liking, watching stories, engaging. It was like a hustle, and it's like, okay, how did I afford it? Well, I worked for it. That's all I can say, right? It's like, or at the club, right? It's being on the sales floor and just scouring the sales floor and just talking and hustling and upselling and competing, right? And walking around, and somebody be like, yeah, no, I'm not really here for that. I don't really come here for that. Because they have an objection, right? They're like, I don't really need that. And I'm like, well, obviously you do, because you walked in here tonight. So you need it. Why wouldn't you? I need it. I need it. If I was in your shoes, I'd go, right? It's a sales, right? So people, there's different situations, right? But I realized after 9 months of not being in the industry, it's like, I don't want to work that hard, actually. I don't want to push myself to the limit. But somebody said something at the last crystal show that I sold crystals at, is they said, when you're really passionate about something, it's like you didn't even work hard, or that time that it took for you to learn that skill or buy that thing, or it's like that time just didn't even exist. Like that time, just because you were passionate about it. And so it was effortless. So if something starts to feel like, for me, like, there's so much effort here, then obviously I steer away, because it's like, I don't want to feel like effort and stress. So again, it's like just being in tune with like, okay, I could work hard right now and I could buy more dolls, but do I really want to push myself to the limit like that? I have a problem with buying more manga when I haven't even read all of my series. I have about 100 volumes that I haven't read yet. Ooh, yeah. The thing is, with manga, and I'll like mention this on like a finishing note, and with dolls, is releases, right? So it's like dolls get released and you want to complete your collection. Pull-up dolls get released, you want all the pull-up dolls or all the dolls on your list. And then with manga is like series, right? And so it's just weird. Like my Dress Up Darling, I haven't watched the anime, but I fell in love with the first volume. I love Marin Kitagawa. I think she's hilarious. And I just need to have the whole manga series. But I have only read volume 1. But every time the new one comes out, I just gotta have it. I just love her. And she's really cute to me. It's also like Citrus. I never finished Citrus, but I love Yuzu. Yuzu actually reminds me a lot of Marin. And so I just had to have all the Citrus. And then I was like, I gotta have at least 3 of the Citrus plus. But I was like, I haven't even read or finished those. And yet here I am, like thinking, okay, when the next My Dress Up Darling comes out, I gotta have it. So I've really halted myself, obviously, on the manga front as well. It's like I'm anti buying manga right now too, because I do have so many volumes to read. And it's only fair that I read those volumes to those artists. When you sometimes buy stuff, you don't even need, just for that little bit of dopamine. Yeah, exactly. But you know what? Sometimes that little bit of dopamine goes a long way with mental illness or stress and anxiety. And psychology, can go anywhere from like $100 to $200, $250, $350 an hour to talk to somebody. A yoga class for an hour is about $25, or a dance class. And sometimes our mental illness, our stress, and our anxiety, it is more sustainable, definitely, to move your body or to eat a good meal. Um, but sometimes it's just not attainable, you know, and you just don't feel like doing that. And that's okay. But another thing that I have implemented into my life routine, which wasn't in my routine in the last 5, 6 years of my life, was um, scheduling movement. So, although I do teach dance, I was working at the club, I was dancing at the club. That was scheduled work that wasn't balanced and sustainable. And so obviously you don't warm up, you don't cool down when you're at the club. You just like show up, you throw on 8-inch heels, you're bending over, you're twerking, you're doing all this stuff, and you're just damaging your body. You're not warming it up, you're not cooling it down, and you're not resting it, and you're just going hard for 5 hours, just walking around. Like, these heels are not good for your body. And I went from a culture where I was always doing scheduled movement, going to yoga classes and going to the gym. And I never had any body problems. That if I had mental illness or I had stress, I could handle it very quickly. And I didn't need to buy into retail therapy at all. I was living a very, very movement based type of lifestyle, and that changed. And then I was only about working at the club and buying crystals for my crystal business. But in the last like month, I've been going to the gym twice a week because I know that I need to. I'm 33 now. So if I want to keep pole dancing or dancing or even making art with my neck and my shoulders like this, I need to weight train because your muscles and your body start to degenerate. Being a human being is a degenerative process. And I need to weight train because of my hip injury. And going that twice a week has definitely helped me to confront like some more of like my true authentic feelings. So if I just bombard my mind with like reading manga, playing with dolls, watching K-drama, playing Modern Warfare, streaming on Twitch, streaming on YouTube, making content, if I just do all of that, I don't give myself the opportunity to just be present with myself. But it's like, I don't want to go to yoga and be present with myself because that's like an even deeper state of being present with my feelings, which I'm trying to like avoid like the plague, right? So you go to the gym and it's like you're not really like hum and meditating and like being with yourself in that like deeper, more in tune sense. But at least you are generating blood flow to your body. And before going to the gym, the one thing that really helped me, that was more of a routine, not every single day, was walking our dog, our family dog. And that was something that changed. The actually kind of like around the Barbie movie coming out. And so I wasn't going for those walks anymore where I was like literally walking and being inside my body and not distracted by just like all my weeby interests. And yeah, it's been beneficial for sure. But I think on the other side of it is when you lift weights, you're like generating like testosterone. And so like sometimes like I don't know if that's like good for my anxiety because it's like I'm generating this testosterone like lifting weights. And then when you do yoga, you kind of generate more of um, like you tap more into your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your relaxation state. So you have two nervous systems. And I feel like weightlifting, you do tap more into that fight or flight response because you're like lifting heavy weights, right? And when you do cardio, when you do dance cardio, when you do yoga, when you do meditation, you do tap more into that parasympathetic nervous system. And we really don't live in that nervous system. We might live in that nervous system maybe if we're casually playing with dolls and we're taking our time to play with this doll and we're sitting in a good position, we're not hurting our neck and shoulders, we're not in a rush, we're not making content, and we're playing with a doll, we might tap into that rest and relaxation state where it's therapeutic and creative. But for the most part, like we're on this kind of like North American grind of just kind of like achieving. And so we do live in our fight or flight response in our sympathetic nervous system. And it doesn't help. It doesn't help. So, yeah, just like it's discipline to get on my mat and do an hour of yoga. But I forget too that just breathing deeper and just taking deeper breaths and making things a meditation, like brushing my teeth, washing the dishes, and just like taking my time. Some days, again, it's easier to do that than other days. Sometimes I have to throw on some metal music and just grind and wash those dishes and make, and clean that kitchen and just get it done. Because you can't be having a dirty kitchen. You don't feel good if your kitchen is dirty, especially if you have kids. It's just even more stressful. But you can definitely make your doll hobby more of a meditation. And my friend who's actually buying this pull-up doll off of me, what I love about them is they said to me that, and they were collecting mostly Rainbow High dolls, was that they make sure that they play with their dolls for a scheduled 1 hour a week and put their phone on airplane mode as a type of therapy for themselves. And I really, really liked hearing that. Oh, I did finish The Water Dragon's Bride, and actually I think Christine read this one as well. And I really liked it. I'm definitely going to reread it. I have been bugging my kid to read it. And I think because I keep bugging him to read it, he's like not reading it. But he loves like ethereal stories. And The Water Dragon's Bride, I'm like wondering if there's like a deeper meaning within it. It actually, now that you mentioned it, it reminds me of this Japanese story I read. I definitely want to start exercising more too. I'm not overweight, but I want to have a toned body by next year for sure. So there's so many different types. Okay, so wrapping up, let me talk about Water Dragon's Bride. It reminds me of this old Japanese story about a man who gets swayed, I think it's like by a frog or something, and he goes to this magical, wonderful land. He's transported to, this other place, and he doesn't age in this other place, and he's just, so much time has passed, hundreds of years, and then he goes back to his real life, and everybody that he's known and loved had passed away, and it's tragic. But because he was in this other place, he had this amazing time. And I like The Water Dragon's Bride kind of reminds me of that. So if you don't know what The Water Dragon's Bride is, it's a manga, and it's about a girl who kind of gets transported to another place, and she gets transported almost like back in time to kind of like the Edo Meiji era, and it's like an old school era, and like there's no cell phones there, and she's very sad, and she misses her family. She's very young, and it's very tragic. It's very sad. I cried so hard in the first few volumes. It's beautiful though, and the drawing style is so beautiful. It's simple, it's very cutesy, but she is betrothed to this water dragon god. And because she has like this red hair and these blue eyes, everybody looks at her like she's, what's that word again when you're like an outsider? They look at her like she's this outsider, and they think she's like kind of this freak of nature, and that's how she gets all wrapped up with this water dragon god, because they're like sacrificing her. Oh my goodness, I can't remember all the details now, but suffice it to say, and I don't want to spoil it if you decide to pick up this manga because it's very beautiful, but there are two sides, right? So it's kind of like we're always looking at grass is greener, and I think that we are irrevocably bound to that mentality that the grass is greener on the other side. And that when we start to move away from that grass is greener mentality and ground ourselves in exactly where we are and what is in our direct perception, like what's exactly around us, what is the truth? The truth is like what's right in front of you in the present moment. That's the truth. Whatever you're trying whatever you wish you had with somebody or something in the future, whatever you long for that's already past, that's not the truth. So I think we get addicted to the grass is greener because we do fluctuate into a state of fantasy. It's just the way our mind works. And so it's entertainment to think that, it's musing to think that there's this other option. But of course, if that other option is something that you've experienced before, she experienced her family and then suddenly she was ripped away from her family, then there's like a heavier undertone with that. But there's a deeper meaning in that story because sometimes we are ripped away from a person or a situation or a thing, and it's just literally against our own will, and there's nothing we can do about it. Outcast. The story of the Outcast reminds me of Bayonetta. Bayonetta! Oh my gosh, I haven't played Bayonetta in a hot minute. So I don't really know the story of Bayonetta, but I love that game. She is so fabulous with the like heel that kicks out of the like, ooh. Now I feel like playing Bayonetta. Oh my gosh, video games. Bayonetta is fun, and I haven't even played it on the TV. I've only played it on my handheld. But yeah, toned body, next ear, and movement. Just a small segment on movement. My sister just started working out again, and I will tell you from my experience that I was a fitness and yoga instructor before I got into pole, which is calisthenics, and I was chasing that stomach from I'm a slave for you, and I was chasing that Britney Spears stomach forever. I think I was chasing that stomach from the moment I got into yoga at 17 all the way up until I got into pole dancing at 27. So like 10 years of doing crunches and crunches and crunches and crunches and so many crunches and leg ups and boat pose and holding onto the bars and doing knee ups. And I just never had those abs. And then I did pole dance, and then I got those abs like in 6 months. And it's because of like the way that it works, like pulling yourself into the pole, kind of like it pulls all your muscles in, and that's how calisthenics work. Like handstand practice and all that is like, it just, your muscles get trained to get pulled inwards versus like when you lift weights, you're just like swelling a muscle. You're like lifting a weight, you're swelling a muscle. But if you're pulling yourself up on a rope, like if you just kind of look at that from a mechanical sense, you're drawing everything in and up. So everything in your body is just pulling in and up. And it doesn't have to be a pole. It could be a rope. It could be, cross grab wall climbing, scaling on a diagonal with wall climbing, and also upwards as well. Could be doing stairs. There's a lot of different types of movement out there, and people get intimidated by yoga and going to the gym and all that, or they just don't have the motivation. But I think you need to have like a little bit of a recipe where you try a bunch of different things and you see which ones are fun. And that music is just like, hammer out in 3 hours, like 20 playlists. You got 5 playlists that are half an hour, 5 playlists that are 45 minutes, and 10 playlists that are an hour. And every day you just like, okay, and like just do 20 different genres of music and do it old school. Like when we used to burn each other's CDs, I don't know if you guys are from that era, before Spotify existed, if you wanted to listen to a playlist, you had to make a CD, or you put it on your iPod. And so, you kind of structure a playlist from start to finish, like, okay, this is the beginning, and then it's going to get hype in the middle, and then it's going to calm down at the end. And having that playlist is like, that's your timer for your movement. Bayonetta, there was 2 clans, the Holy Lumen Sages with the angels and the Umbra's Witch with the demons. Ooh, this is giving me Angel Sanctuary right now and Vampire Night. And there was a prophecy which said the two shouldn't mix. Okay. Bayonetta was a child of a Lumen Sage and an Umbra Witch. Ooh, this gets even better. No wonder I like this game. So she got ripped away from her parents, her mom exiled in jail, and she was outcast because she's like mixed. Oh, okay. Thank you for that. That's really dope. Oh, Bayonetta. She would be a sick doll or a sick cosplay. I love those like glasses that she has, and yeah, her depiction in the latest game is like she's got this like Lolita dress thing going on and this big like this big thick side braid, and yeah, just really awesome. So on a side note, because I am going to disembark from this live, I am working on my kawaii desk setup. We have spray painted the things, they are drying, so I might get around to that video this Sunday, hopefully. And yeah, I will be selling some dolls, but I have someone who's really interested, so they have explicitly asked me to reach out to them first. But if you're interested, I am going to be letting go of Aura-sama Teacher. I have volumes 1 to 7. I don't know. I think it's if you like Ouran High School Host Club, you'll like this. And I like Ouran High School Host Club, but I do like it. I don't know. Maybe I got to give it another chance. I don't know. I didn't connect with it after 4 volumes, and I feel like that's a big sign. Her outfit is made from her hair. That's so witchy. Oh my goodness. Speaking of hair, I have this lock of hair from when I cut my hair, and I still have it. And I was going to do some like witchcraft with it before I got rid of it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. Maybe some braiding or some knotting. Maybe just some meditating with it and then burying it or burning it. I got to do some research. But that hair was like my hair of like the last, I don't know how many years, 6 years, 7 years. So I just felt like it was time. Like cutting your hair is also like cleansing as well. That's my own personal belief. Aura-sama Teacher, it's pretty PG, but I love the humor and the characters. You know what? I love the humor too. Oh, okay. Here is what it was. I just found it to be a little bit unbelievable, but a little bit believable. So she's like a thug. So she's like a high school girl who is like a bully. She's not even a bully. She's like the lead of a gang. So she's like a thug. And I just don't know if I like really bought into it, that she's a thug. And then there's like this low-key, it's like a reverse harem, and then there's like this low-key, maybe a bit of a romance with her teacher, maybe. And that's cool that it's PG. I like PG. But I don't know. I almost just like, I felt like I didn't buy into that storyline. And it wasn't until the 4th volume that it started to feel like it was a reverse harem, and I don't even know if it really is or not. But I just felt like, yeah, a lot of the interactions, and I feel this way also about Ouran High School Host Club, is a lot of the interactions are very like high school-y, and that's fine. I really liked, I really like high school arcs, but if that's all that it is, usually, it's kind of like, I've read it before, but it is funny. It is funny, and I don't know. We'll see. It was on one of those recommendation lists, and so during COVID, when the lockdown lifted, I decided to go to the comic book store, and the whole series was there, and I saw it on a suggested list, and so I was like, oh yeah, I'll buy all 7 volumes. I'll buy 7 volumes. I read 2 volumes. I was like, I don't know if I'm into this. Then I read like 2 more volumes in like Hawaii, and then I just really wasn't sure if I was into it or not, so maybe I need to give it another maybe need to give it another chance. But anyhow, thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. And I was thinking of adding like some dance tutorials and stuff and some yoga stuff to this channel, but that wouldn't probably happen until like next month. I was thinking maybe even just once every 2 weeks, some sort of movement style episode where I workshopped some movement things that can be done on the pole, without the pole, yoga, maybe dance. It is what I do for money, but it was not what I intended to like create content in. But I'm thinking that it's kind of like one of those things where it's like my friend said, if you have a skill or a gift, but you don't try to share it with as many people as possible, then you're wasting that skill and that gift. I just didn't want to come out on this platform always talking about dolls and all that, and then suddenly giving a dance tutorial, and then people kind of being like, what is this? This is weird. This is not even what she creates on here, and I don't even want to see this. And then I'm like scared people will unsubscribe, legit. So I'm like, maybe I need to create a different platform for that. But then that just gives me anxiety as well, because there's too many platforms. And I share this stuff on my personal Instagram, so I'm like, maybe it's time to try to like trickle a bit of it in. Thank you. You guys have a great rest of your night too. And I will be back on next Friday. I don't know with what, but we'll chat about whatever we feel like chatting about. And if you ever feel like reaching out to me through DM with literally anything, yeah, let's chat and enjoy your doll playing, your manga, your video games, your meditation, your retail therapy, if that's what you're going to do this week. And have a really great week. Breathe well, breathe really well this week, and do things that bring you joy. Bye.